And welcome to Chamber Chat, an opportunity for people to get to know our Chamber members a little bit better, both professionally and personally. And today I have Tammy McCammon. You are the newly hired Executive Director for the HALO program, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So a month, I believe you said. 1 month you've almost with the HALO program?
Yes, I started on July 7th, so it's been almost a month.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. That must you had a nice article in the Itemizer Observer a few weeks ago, and
yes,
sounds like it's a great job for you, so congratulations.
It is. It's a perfect fit. I love it.
So with the HALO program, as far as accepting that position, what made you say HALO was the right fit for you?
Oh, a lot of different reasons. First of all, it's 5 blocks from my house. I've lived in the Monmouth-Independence community for 16 years now.
Okay.
And this is one of the rare opportunities where I get to work close to home.
So 16 years living in Monmouth-Independence, what do you think is one of the special features about our community?
There's so many special features about our community, from the university campus to our parks, our government, the chamber working together with both. I would have to say it's the people.
Okay, so 16 years and you love the people. Obviously this is home for you. You
Yes.
could certainly pack up and move elsewhere, but you like the people and everything that this community brings. Excellent.
Yes.
So what would you say professionally has been your greatest accomplishment?
Wow, that's a big one. Well, I started out in my work experiences as a hotel maid, and I am now the executive director of an organization, and that just blows my mind. And so I would say this is one of my greatest accomplishments, to be able to be in a position where I can lead an organization and help empower the people within it and help our community. I'm just honored.
So what made HALO the right fit? Why HALO?
Its mission to educate, lead, and inspire young adults in our community. I was a high school dropout, and I didn't have someone to role model that for me. Being able to give back to the young people in my community in that way and give them hope. And not just those that have dropped out of school. I'm talking about our in-school youth too. We serve both in-school and out-of-school youth. Sometimes we're just not sure where we want to go in our lives when we've all faced that when we're that age, right? Ages 16 to 21, and we're not quite sure what we want to do. Our organization, HALO, we get to be the people that are there in our community to be that support system and say, let us help you figure out what it is you want to do and find the resources to help you do that.
Because that is a challenging question when you're 16, 17, 18 in high school. People, what do you want to be when you grow up? And all of a sudden you realize that it's not growing up, it's just a few years away, and you're supposed to know this? It's very challenging.
Yeah, and being able to help them realize that we all have to start at the beginning, right? We all have our first job, our first experiences, our first pay scale, starting at minimum wage. Those are the things that are expected when we're that age. And when we hear these incredible stories, even myself included, high school dropout to executive director, we're like, wow, we forget to tell all the really hard stuff in the middle. That it didn't just happen overnight. This is 20 years worth of goal setting and striving to get an education and work hard and do what's expected of me on a regular basis consistently to achieve those goals.
And that's a great point, that you're not skipping the middle.
Yeah.
It's a process.
And that's what we do at HALO. We teach them that there's a process to everything and set them on their way.
I often think about how when things take time, we're in such an instant society, where just everything is right here at our fingertips, but oftentimes the items that mean the most, or the experiences that make the most impact on your life, it's more of a marathon than a sprint.
Absolutely.
But we're so used to the sprint.
Yeah, and we like to be instantly gratified. Who doesn't? Right? And there are incredible stories of people who get their dream job right away. But most of us, and a lot of the greats, try and try and try and fail and fail and fail, and that's an exciting process. And we want to teach and encourage that process, not stifle it.
So you mentioned professionally working with the students and helping these younger adults on their path. Personally, what would you say has been one of your best accomplishments or greatest moments?
My greatest accomplishment in my life, and they know it, it's my children. My children are 23, 20, and 17, and just the honor of being their mom and helping guide them through their lives and watching them achieve their dreams and their goals and watching them each graduate from high school. All 3 of my kids have graduated. 5 if I claim all the other kids. Well, if I claimed all the other kids that think I'm their mom,
right, then you'd have
we'd be here
far
forever.
greater number.
But the 3 I've given birth to have each graduated from high school and are launching themselves into their own lives. And I'm just honored that I didn't mess that up too bad. You know, we have our own challenges as parents, but the fact that they're reaching their goals and they're doing the things they want to do and they're becoming the people they want to be, I'm thrilled that I got to be a part of that.
Well, and so now you get to take the maternal side that you've done with your own children and you get to put that into the workplace as well. That's got to feel just so great.
It does.
What a nice blend.
Yeah, yeah. And the young people that we're helping at the Halo program, they are the same ages as my own youth, and they're near and dear to my heart. And I'm doing the same things for them that I did for my own children through my own trials and errors in my adult life, and saying, man, if I were 16 again, I wish that someone would have told me this. I wish someone would have pushed me a little harder. I wish someone would have given me these resources or led me down this path. And that's what I can give to the structure and to the staff and help us all as a team support the youth in our community.
That's great. So let's hear a little more about you as Tammy. What is a hobby, an interest, a skill set? What's something about you that would surprise people to know?
Oh, that surprises people?
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, I'm into photography, and that doesn't surprise anyone because usually if I'm not at work, I'm seen with a camera in my hands. But I like to dress up like a zombie, and any zombie anything that my family and I can partake in, we love to do it. So when I first went to college, I was a theater major. It's how I put myself through the first 3 years of college, was on a talent grant. And I love theater makeup, and particularly love zombie movies. And so we've participated in Thrill the World, the Zombie Walk over in Salem. We've been asked to just dress up and show up as zombies in places, and we help other people learn how to do their own zombie makeup.
That's awesome. That's the first response of that kind of heard. So you actually do get to do on a somewhat regular basis. It's not just the one thing that kind of stays hidden. Like, you actually get to do this.
Yeah, we do. We do it as regularly as we possibly can.
And this is something that your children have learned from you, and they equally enjoy.
Yes, we have family photos in our hallway that is of us dressed as zombies. In fact, our Christmas photo from 2 years ago was a zombie Christmas. And I wish now that I had sent that photograph for you, but yeah, the whole family's dressed up as zombies.
Excellent. That's very unique. I love that response.
Yeah.
I like to read books. No, I like to dress as a zombie.
Right.
I like that.
Well, you said that people are surprised.
Right, yeah.
People are really surprised when they hear that.
So now you've made this area home for 16 years. Let's go a little bit greater than just Monmouth and Independence. What do you find attractive about the Mid-Willamette Valley area? What makes this part of Oregon so great?
Again, I think it's the people. You know, what I love about living in Monmouth-Independence and in the Mid-Willamette Valley is that we are about an hour and a half away from every climate you could hope for, right? So we can drive up into the mountains and we can see the snow, we can be in it, we can play in it, we can drive over to the coast and put our feet in the sand and play in the ocean, and then we can drive just a little bit further and kind of end up in desert almost surroundings, or drive further and end up in some of the most beautiful places in the world like Crater Lake or Mount Hood. And that is what is attractive about being here. But even with all that beauty, my husband and I do hiking every weekend too, so we love to get out into nature. But it's the people we meet along the way. I think Oregonians, specifically in the Mid-Willamette Valley, we just know a lot of really awesome people who are friendly and welcoming and givers in their community.
Now, I have one more question, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. This is Chamber Chat, so
yes.
I've enjoyed the personal side, the zombie, and your passion, obviously, for the outdoors and everything that the people bring in this area. But since this is Chamber Chat, What would you say, and I know you're new to Halo, but you have been involved in the community for a number of years. What would you say is one of the greatest chamber membership benefits?
There are so many. I love being a member of chamber, and I love when I get to be a member of multiple chambers. So being that we serve all of Polk County, that's exciting because it crosses over into Salem and Dallas and all of our other areas where there's a chamber of commerce. Oh my gosh, there's so much I love about chamber. Really, and probably more enthusiasm than you would experience from most people. But I remember when I was younger and we would move into a new community, the chamber was the first place that my parents would go to look for resources within that community. And I think that's a valuable resource in our community itself for the Monmouth-Independence Chamber, is being able to find information. But I personally like the social gatherings, and I love to get together with people at greeters and say hi and learn more about their businesses. And I have friends that I've made within this community that I made during the first few years I was here, and it was through chamber connections.
Nice, excellent. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Again, congratulations on your new position with Halo. It sounds like you're a great fit for the job. Your passion just speaks for itself. So thank you for joining us on Chamber Chat today.
Thanks.
All right, have a good day. And welcome back to Chamber Chat, an opportunity for people to know our chamber members a little bit better, professionally and personally. Now joining me, I have Natascha Cronin. She is the relatively new Monmouth-Independence YMCA branch director for the Monmouth-Independence YMCA. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Now, as the relatively new, how long have you had this position now?
2 months today.
Excellent. So we're in early August and it's been 2 months. All right. So I know you're not new to the community. You've lived here for a few years now. But what was it about being the branch director for the YMCA? Why that position? Why this community?
Well, I came to this community sort of by accident. I worked for Rogue Ales, and that's what brought me to Independence. And within about a year of being here, I knew that this was where we wanted to stay. So my husband and I bought a house, and we really became invested in our community, volunteering many different places, from Hop and Heritage to the Chamber of Commerce, and then kind of helping with some city commissions as well. And I actually went to school to work with nonprofits, so when the opportunity arose, it was truly a perfect fit. So not only do I get to, go to work every day for the degree that you spend all that money for, but I get to impact my community, which is what my passion is. And it took me a long time when people would ask me what my hobbies or interests are. I never had anything, and I finally realized, specifically in moving to Independence, that my passion is my community, and being able to work for the YMCA means I get to live my passion every day. Which is
it's a nice fit for you.
It's a great fit.
Excellent. So you mentioned the community. You are passionate. You can hear it in your voice. I know you are extremely involved in the community. What would you say is a special feature for the Monmouth-Independence area? What makes it really stand out?
I think it really comes down to a philosophy and an attitude. If you talk to John McCardle, our mayor of Independence, he always talks about that can-do attitude, and I think it applies for Monmouth just as much as Independence. I think the two communities work really well together, and partnerships is really the key. And in small towns, it's not every man for himself. It's how do we all work together and accomplish our common goal, which is to better our community. And Independence and Monmouth both have that spirit, and it's really easy to get involved. I think the first question, if you say I'm new to the community, is do you volunteer? And if you say yes and are brave enough to admit that you do, we will find a place for you to help. And that's, I think, why this community is flourishing the way it is.
There are definitely a lot of volunteer opportunities. You definitely have people who roll the sleeves up, jump in, do what it takes to get done. There's so many different opportunities for people. Just again, in July and August every year, you have the concerts between the two cities, you have the movies in Independence. That's just 3 events right there every week.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of opportunities just to help with that. And then you throw in the other festivals and the other happenings throughout the year, and there's just a lot that one can do.
Yeah, both for the community and then organizations like the Y. You know, our mission is to make sure that regardless of income or background, anyone has access to the Y. But the Y is more than about providing benefits. It's also there to provide volunteer opportunities so that if you are able and willing, not only will we help those that need help, but we're happy to help those looking to help others.
So if people want to volunteer, perhaps they could give you a phone call.
Yes, they should ring me up.
Now, one of the areas where you volunteer is with the Chamber of Commerce. You're currently the president of the Chamber Board.
Yep.
What would you say from the Y's perspective? You're still new there, but you've been in the community for a while. What would you say is one of the greatest benefits of the Chamber membership?
I think the Chamber offers great visibility both to small and large businesses or organizations or just individuals in the community. From a Y perspective, as an organization who needs to regain trust in the community and build programs, it's great for us because we not only can do things like Chamber Chat, but we can use the events calendar, we can go to the networking things that you put on for us, both the forums and the mixers, and it just allows an organization like the Y to go out there and really be in the community, and it gives us an opportunity to put a face to the name. And I think being a part of the Chamber, it's been really interesting to actually see that happening. So I go to most of the forums and the mixers, and I meet new people and get to interact with businesses that either I wasn't familiar with or didn't know were part of the community. And when you get those opportunities and you meet the people and your neighbors, it's a lot easier to do business with those folks.
Exactly, and that is one of the focal points for Chamber Chat, is allowing people to get to know you as an individual, because you do business with the people that you know.
Yeah.
And so between networking or Chamber Chat, it definitely builds those relationships. At least that's the goal. So now you as a person, let's talk about Natascha.
Okay.
What would you say has been one of your greatest personal accomplishments?
I'm not very good at answering questions like that, to be honest, but one of the things that I'm most proud of actually happened very recently, and that was the City of Independence asked me to be part of the delegation to go to Denver to win to try to win the All-America City Award, and it was really humbling and an honor just to be invited to go, and then to go and see these other 23 communities that work as hard as we do and that are as passionate as we are. And to just see all these ideas and all these folks. I describe the event like a high school pep rally on crack. It's just, wow. Everyone is super excited, and it's 3 days, and your voice hurts by the end of it. And to actually go to this and see that, but then be part of winning that award and being up on that stage to accept the award was really inspirational, and it's something I'll remember for a very, very long time.
And obviously it says a lot about you as the individual, you and what you've done as a volunteer, that the City of Independence asked you to participate in that delegation. So it says a lot about what you've given back to the community in your own time. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Now, as far as a question you said earlier, you typically had not had an answer previously, but hobbies and interests. So
Yes.
You can't say community anymore. What would you say would surprise people to know about you as far as a hobby and interest or a skill?
Yeah, so it did take me some time to come up with this, but I collect children's books, but they're unusual in that I collect children's books that are no longer politically correct. So one of my favorites that I have in my collection is I Want to Be a Waitress, and it's all about a young girl who has dreams and aspirations of becoming a waitress, and it talks a little bit about school, but how that's not important, and it's just a really, really fun book to kind of look back, but the reason I like doing it is because I have this collection of books that really show where we've come as a society, right? So that book, as funny as it is on the surface, you know, we've come a long way. We would no longer give a young girl a book that says, I want to be a waitress. We give them aspirations and dreams to go to college and, you know, go to technical school, and there is sort of the higher reach that you can attain. And so I really love collecting those books, just because it's a fun way to kind of laugh, and it's a fun way to, yeah, like I said, see how far we've come.
And certainly being a waitress is fine. It's just
Yes.
if that was what a girl was told, this is the only thing you can do, don't worry about school or any other trade, just do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what definitely makes it bad.
Yeah, it's this is, you know, the highest you can achieve, you know, so this is where your bar is set. And of course it's fine to be a waitress, and I was for many years, but for that to be, you know, the highest that you can reach, I think we would all agree that you know, maybe throwing college in there is a better idea.
I know for my mom, it was her generation, her time was, you could be a teacher, you could be a nurse, but you really should just be at home, be the wife and the mom.
Right.
All those are great skills.
Yep.
But if those are the only paths you're given, you might want to spread that out a little bit.
Yeah.
So now, when you talk about not living here or being from here originally, choosing to come here, choosing to stay, liking this community, buying a house, when you go beyond Monmouth and Independence, when you look at just the greater Mid-Willamette Valley area, what makes this part of Oregon so attractive?
Well, there's tons of stuff. You know, if you love the outdoors, you can go hiking and biking. My husband just participated in the MS bike ride this weekend, which was really exciting and a great way to celebrate the Willamette Valley. How better to witness the bounty of mint and corn and hops and everything else that's being grown than on a bicycle. And I think the greater Willamette Valley in general, just it's a friendly place to live. It's an easy place to do business. There are multiple organizations that are specifically there to connect other organizations, and that's something you don't find in many other parts of the country. And so it's this joint collectiveness of wanting to work together and to partner, and it's so easy to call someone that you've never met before. Maybe you've learned of their business online and you like their mission or what they're selling, or you know what their feel is, and you can call them up, and the moment you say the word partnership, it's okay, that's your olive branch. And in the Willamette Valley, people jump on that bandwagon, and it's just a phenomenal place to do many things.
Excellent, and that has been, I've asked that question to several people on various segments of Chamber Chat, and there's definitely a passion and a feel for the community and the people, not just for Monmouth and Independence, but for the greater area, and I would say that's been a consistent answer, so it's just, you know, heightened one more time. But, excellent, so Natascha, our time is up, so thank you for joining us with Chamber Chat. Appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
And welcome back to Chamber Chat. I now have Christal Sperling. You are the owner and manager of Curves of Independence at Curves of Independence. So welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Excellent. So Christal, you've been a part of the community for a while now, I believe, and when it was time for you to start a business, when you were looking at apparently franchise opportunities, what drew you to not only Curves, but what drew you to the Monmouth Independence area?
I grew up here, actually. I've lived here my whole life, even in the same house. And so I already had that bond with Monmouth and Independence, because this is where it's my hometown. I had been working at the Curves of Monmouth at the time, and I decided that it was just something I absolutely loved doing, and helping strengthen women in my own community was really important.
Excellent. So just the strong ties already from being raised here in your whole life.
Yes. Yeah, I grew up on a family farm, actually, and that farm's still in operation.
Excellent. Wow. So being someone who's as well versed about our community as you are, what is one of the special features about Monmouth and Independence?
I think that the diversity in Monmouth and Independence is awesome.
What kind of diversity?
Just everybody's so different. The people you meet, like your farmers, and then you have college students, professionals, as well as the cultural backgrounds. They're all so different.
Because there are people like me, not from here, so hopefully that brings a little bit. And then some of the other people I've interviewed with Chamber Chat, some, pretty much everyone has moved here. Those who moved here have now made it home. Like, this is where I want to be. I don't want to live anywhere else.
Right.
And you have people like you who you've always been here and you've chosen intentionally not to leave.
Right.
So it says a lot about the community.
It does. It does. And anytime I hear like people I went to high school with say, "Oh, I can't believe you never left the community," I'm like, well, why wouldn't you? I mean, our parents didn't. So
I think it's nice to stay here.
Exactly.
Whereas my mom probably wishes I had a similar thought about my hometown. Now we'll move on. So one of the, with Curves of Independence, you are a chamber member, and through your time as a member, what have you found to be one of the stronger benefits of chamber membership?
I definitely think that networking has been the strongest benefit. I wish I would take more advantage of that, but I can see the importance of the networking with the chamber. And everything that you do as far as the networking, like the website, being able to post your events and that kind of stuff is really helpful.
Yeah, that's been a pretty consistent answer from people, is the ability to interact and to network and to build those professional relationships, not only for your own business but for you as an individual, because typically people do business with people that they know. If you know them, you feel like you can trust them, so therefore you do business and you refer, and it all works together. So if the networking is providing that, that's I love hearing that.
And we do see that. You know, I track a lot of statistics with my business, and we definitely do see that being part of the chamber and networking within the chamber is helpful for us.
Excellent. Now, you're talking about your professional side. As a business owner, what has been one of your greatest accomplishments?
I would say the greatest accomplishment was actually buying the club. I had worked previously for another owner, and she kind of helped me along the way to know what to do and what to expect in purchasing the franchise. And it was like a dream come true, really, when it happened.
So you weren't the small child dreaming of being your own business owner
No.
at some point. This is something that you just kind of happened into, and it's worked out for you. Excellent.
Yep, I wanted to work in fashion my whole life. So to come, and I hated PE. I hated PE so much. So to work in a facility where exercise is key is a little different.
So your PE teachers, would they be surprised?
They would. One was actually my member, and she was like, "What are you doing here?"
Like, well, I didn't pay attention then, but now.
Exactly.
Excellent. So let's get to know you more as an individual, more on the personal side. As Christal, what would you say has been one of your greatest or proudest personal accomplishments?
I have lots, but probably the biggest one is the fact that I've lost 90 pounds. And so that's been a long road, but really exciting
So
also.
90, like a 9 and a 0.
9-0,
Not
yeah.
9, just 90. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That says a
so-
lot about just endurance.
It was a couple of years, but that's after I've had 4 kids. So
Wow, 4 children, lost 90 pounds.
Yep.
Wow, I would be really happy with that too.
it's exciting. It feels good.
Excellent. Now, what about hobbies and interests, or even a skill? What's something that people would be surprised to know about you? Beyond not liking PE when you were younger.
That's a big one. Actually, like, hobbies are really hard to come by because I don't have a whole lot of time. But what I do like to do in my spare time is I like to craft, and people probably wouldn't expect that because I'm not really a crafty person. But I recently made my daughter's like whole softball team big fancy bows to wear when they play their games, you know, and they love them and they sport them and they think they're really awesome. So anything that I can make to give as gifts, I do like to do that. That's probably my favorite hobby.
So hands-on,
Yeah.
making things with hands. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had more time to do that.
So if I need a craft, I could come to you. 'cause
Maybe.
I'm not a crafty person.
Depending on my mood.
Super. Now, being raised and spending your entire life in Monmouth-Independence, let's go a little bit beyond that, a little to a greater area. When you're talking about the Mid-Willamette Valley, what are a couple of points of attraction? Why should people, this part of Oregon, why should they care? Why should they come here?
I think the people here are nice. It seems weird, but the people here are nicer than they are in other cities or in other areas. I actually do hear that a lot. So the people are super friendly and super nice, and here and in the Willamette Valley, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to offer.
Do you have a favorite activity of your own when you have time?
Yeah, when I have time. Well, we like to go like bike riding or walking, just do things outdoors, and there's so much to do outdoors.
There really is. I recently worked with a student group from Western Oregon University, and they were looking at things to do, basically, for Polk County. And they started the project with the idea of, okay, this won't take very long, and we had a follow-up meeting, and it was several females, and their eyes were just bulging at different age ranges, and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea all this stuff was here, and just their excitement. So that has now sparked more of the tourism component for the chamber, as also being the visitor center, is how do we help get the word out of of all the great things to do in Polk County. You know, people think wine and the wineries and the tasting rooms. but there's obviously a lot more beyond that.
Right. We just did the Dirty Dash in Eugene, and so that was something that was really fun. And he was still in Willamette Valley. The river race that's coming up, those kinds of things, just being outside, and my kids love it. They just think it's so cool to do those things. And I would never really had that opportunity as a kid, so doing that is really fun.
Great. Now, with Curves, let's go back to Curves for a little bit. I know you're involved in the community. I've seen you sponsor some events. What are some of the community elements that your business has allowed you to be involved in that perhaps you wouldn't have previously?
Every year in March, we host a food drive, which is a big deal for our community. We usually donate to the Ella Kern Food Bank at least 2,000 pounds of food, and that comes directly from my members. So that's something that Curves has asked us to do and will continue to do because we absolutely love giving back to the community. Some of the other things we do will be like the mini marathons. So we pay to do that, so that money goes to a scholarship for sports and that kind of stuff within the community, as well as in October we do some stuff for breast cancer research.
That makes sense. Curves definitely geared towards females. October would definitely be a bigger month for your members, I would think. What types of breast cancer activities do you do?
We'll host like a girls' night out where people can come and just do girly things, shop, which is always our favorite thing to do, and drink some wine and just have a fun time, and then donate some money to breast cancer research.
Yeah, so I have a mother and an aunt who both are breast cancer survivors, so that's always something that means a little bit more to me, perhaps.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, what else about our community do you just absolutely love? You've mentioned the people, you like the community spirit, you like just the activities that are available. You know, what else would you do to pitch our area to people?
Well, again, it just really comes back to the activities. I think that that's really important for families, especially. I look at that the most. The music in the park, the movies in the park, the parade, like everything that we do is just super geared towards family, and that's important.
I do like 4th of July parade, for example. In my first year out here, people kept talking about the parade, the parade, the parade. I'm like, okay, I'll go check it out. And it was fun. The energy of watching people be excited for this parade, and then you see the parade, and it was just, wow, like that's something special, I think, for Monmouth-Independence that a lot of areas have lost.
Yes. I've been to that parade for 34 years. The same parade for 34 years.
That's fun.
It is.
There's a lot of energy around that. So real quick, final question. What else about you do you want people to know? You craft when you have time. You have 4 children. You lost 90 pounds. What else do we need to know about Christal?
That I'm super fun and energetic.
I can't tell that at all. It's been really quiet on this side over there.
Exactly. But yeah, just I love what I do, and I think that's really important.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time. This has been a lot of fun. So thank you for being a part of the Chamber Chat. And enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.